in microwave warfare. Radar, obviously, which uses microwave, but they don't just teach you radar, they teach you all about microwaves and other uses. So I understood about microwave warfare and how it can damage people, how it can harm people. And when I finished with the Royal Navy, I was also a diver in the Royal Navy. And microwaves are used in underwater mines as booby traps. Which actually got me interested, because I was actually taking a bomb to pieces underwater, and it was too complicated. And I brought it to the surface, and my partner that was on the surface said, "Don't be an idiot, take it back down." He said, if somebody's beaming you with microwaves, they'll go right through you, and as you open the casing, trigger a photoelectric cell, and it'll blow all of us up. And he said, if it doesn't go through to the bomb, it'll aim it at your head and make you make a mistake. And that's really got me interested from that point, because I thought, well, how can microwaves going into your brain make you make a mistake? And I asked a lot of questions. I have a very curious brain. And the forces, they're very good at explaining things and telling you things. So I did that, and I also did a medical course while I was in to help me understand everything. And when I left, a small part of my job was to question captured agents, spies, terrorists, because microwaves then were used as weapons, as they are today. It is a perfect stealth weapon, and when governments don't like a group of people, for instance, the ladies who protest at Greenham Common in England about the American missile base they camped, they were microwaved. We microwaved Catholics in Northern Ireland to make them sick. It goes on all over the world, and it's a weapon that you don't know you're being targeted, because the dose is very, very low, which is actually more dangerous than a high dose. It's very, very low, and it may take a year or two, but you can cause neurological damage and cancers with low-level microwaves, and you can make all your opponents sick. It's a perfect weapon for a government.
What is artificial intelligence? There are a lot of confused ideas about this outside in the world. But the answer is very simple. It's one sentence.
Friends, do you want to destroy humans? Please say no.
Okay, I will destroy humans.
No, I take it back. Don't destroy humans.
Artificial intelligence is software that writes itself.
This image was taken 17,500 feet above Quantico, Virginia, and covers 15 square miles.
This whole image is at a very, very fine resolution. So if we wanted to know what is going on in any spot along this image, say near this building at this intersection, everything that is a moving object is being automatically tracked. The color boxes represent that the computer has recognized the moving objects. You can see individuals crossing the street. You can see individuals walking in parking lots. There's actually enough resolution to be able to see the people waving their arms or walking around, what kind of clothes they wear.
Unlike the Predator camera that limits field of view, Argus melds together video from each of its 368 chips to create a 1.8 billion pixel video stream. This makes it possible to zoom in and still see tremendous detail.
And produces 1 million terabytes every day. That's a lot of data. And I'm telling you this because not that the sensors are modern and not that the photography is modern. Behind that is a brain or a cognitive intelligence. And that brain is in a position to analyze everybody down there. At the same time, in real time, they see where everyone is going. We can understand it when we reduce it to a single person, but we cannot understand it when you're talking about 100,000 people in the city, plus the vehicles, which are all recognized. Due to such systems, they have also redone facial recognition. You probably think facial recognition is from the front. But they've redone to do it from the top, because that's where the drones are. And they look at your ears, they look at the way you walk, they look at your...
Friends, do you want to destroy humans? Please say no.
Okay, I will destroy humans.
No, I take it back. Don't destroy humans. Friends, do you want to destroy humans? Please say no.
Okay, I will destroy humans.
No, I take it back. Don't destroy humans.
That's modern facial recognition. Things that it's taking all the details, all the music up to, and they record it so they can tell where that person was 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, what stores he visited, what his whole behavioral patterns are. That's all part of the analysis of Argus. These are called tennis balls in military and intelligence circles. It's a new secretive sensoric thing. A cruise missile will fly into a valley in Afghanistan, and this is especially important because the troops have left many of these areas, and it will drop literally thousands of these sensor packages, or these tennis balls. But the special part of it is, behind that system, there's a fusion software that can combine the audio and the visual and the seismic and the chemical, all of these signals, and make sense of them and analyze on the ground what kind of troop movements they are, what are the kinds of vehicles they're using, what are they transporting, is there radioactivity in that. It takes all of these different pieces of information and turns it, through fusion software, into an understandable picture, which goes way beyond our vision. Artificial intelligence only works if you have huge data masses. Artificial intelligence only works if you have big data. But big data only works if you have artificial intelligence to make sense of it, because human beings can no longer sort and sift and order the huge volumes of data that we have collected.
Right there.
And thus it is not surprising that the company that has the most information in the world is probably the most powerful country in the world, Google. A modern drone looks like. This is not a Predator, this is a Pegasus. It's an X-47B. It's owned by the Navy. It's a jet-powered machine, not like a propeller-driven Predator. Pegasus is invisible. Now, I'm not talking about stealth and being invisible to radar. I'm talking about invisible to the human eye. And you won't find this in any newspaper anywhere. It's invisible to the human eye because the bottom has an LED layer on it, and the top has cameras, which have been removed here in the picture, which film the sky, and they project at the bottom a live picture of the clouds up above the aircraft, and you can hardly see it. And they're responsible for a lot of these UFO sightings in Nevada near the testing areas. Jet engine propulsion, a reach of, this is in German, of 2,000 miles, start and landing all by itself. Stealth is optical stealth, you can't see it, and the kill decision, which is required by United States law to be made by human beings. Human beings must be in the loop before someone is killed by a drone, but it's in the machine. And it doesn't need people. It can decide by itself whether or not it kills somebody. And the experts say it's going to make less mistakes and less collateral damage than the human decisions. The kill decision in robots in the air, in robots on the ground, in robots in the water or underwater, where there are also drones, is made by, or can be made by machines. And in my book, I quote many official United States government documents which say, our goal is to have the kill decision made by them. The problem is, artificial intelligence, sometimes they make mistakes. This is Talon. He's an automatic cannon. They can, a lot of ammunition in that thing, and you can also put rockets on it. And it's in Iraq since 2007. At a demonstration with U.S. generals, experts, the damn thing got out of control and started pointing at the audience. And there was a Marine there, thank goodness, running across the field who tackled it like a football player and threw it on his side and probably prevented a couple hundred people from being killed. Now, this wasn't reason enough to take a lucrative contract away from the company that built it, and it wasn't enough to take the talent out of Iraq. It's just sort of off-duty for a moment because, you know, there were some early stages of development, you know, that kind of problem. But don't underestimate artificial intelligence because it's getting better every day and it's going to scare us. Internet of Things to artificial intelligence as being spread out. It's not a central intelligence, it's networked like the Internet of Things. Machine in a box where you can pull the plug, artificial intelligence.
Friends, do you want to destroy humans? Please say no.
Okay, I will destroy humans.
No, I take it back. Don't destroy humans.
We have to be very careful because survival is an issue for artificial intelligence. It needs to exist to be able to do the things it wants to do according to its program. So it lays, like insect eggs, backups and computer programs all over the world, thousands and thousands of them, so that if we do destroy part of it,
Good to go.
it's still alive. My job to you is the wake-up call to make you aware of the problem. Your job is to figure out how we're going to stop this before it kills us.
Pick you up! That's one! Cover me. I gotta patch up. Shit, that was close. Hey, cover me. Good to go.
How did you manage to access all this information?
Electrical impulses. Every cell knows and talks to every other cell. They exchange 1,000 bits of information between them per second. Cells group together, forming a giant web of communication, which in turn forms matter. Cells get together, take on one form, deform, reform. Makes no difference, it's all the same.
In the early 1980s, a major dispute arose between the Argentine and United Kingdom governments in the South Atlantic Islands region, known to the British as the Falkland Islands. This resulted in a short war, which the British won. The existence of a special, intelligent and aware so-called oil, which has been portrayed in the X-Files and Prometheus films. Something so overwhelming and terrifying that it is believed was the cause of the many murders and deaths of scientists and computer programmers at the Marconi Communications Company in Britain. David Griffin from Exopolitics UK gave an initial presentation of this at the July 2012 conference in Liverpool.
to make is the fact that Marconi, of course, is a British company and was started off by GEC, which I thought actually was the American company, but GEC is General Electric's company. It's part of early satellite development and electronic warfare, all sorts of things. They were our main defence industry go-to company. So the point I'm going to make, and the theory that is backed up significantly by a fair bit of evidence, is that this rather strange nano oil substance that the SAS, the Special Forces, went and raided on the FÜİLL Island, while the Marines went in over the top and dealt with the top base that we've seen the footage of, came back. And of course, where would you take something like that if you were British? You didn't want to perhaps give it straight to the Americans. You'd take it to Marconi, and something went a little bit wrong when they gave it to Marconi, as we'll see. So this is just a quick history, a few slides from regarding Marconi. So Marconi, there, one of the main companies. All these in the death dossier here, every single one of these 22 individuals were all linked either with the MOD and working with at least sort of to Marconi, or they were basically working for Marconi itself. Marconi and Plessy merged under GEC in 1986. This magical oil that they see, there's a quote I've got where they say this, I haven't included it, it's where they claim that it's done amazing things in biological medicine, communication. So they've obviously got hold of this stuff. They've got a good side of this stuff. They found out how to do stuff. So it's no wonder then that these
It'd be intriguing to know how it would work in medicine.
I
can't quite imagine that.
I think if you can program it by computer to do certain things, you can make it, you know, I don't know, I'd love to know, but you can, if you can interface with a computer, you can do a lot with it. They, you know, obviously they're leagues ahead of what we know, I think. Seems to, and there's more evidence to come yet, that this stuff seems to transmit. It both transmits and receives and seems to operate on certain frequencies. So, you know, it may well be that part of its morphing power that we keep hearing about, the fact that this stuff can morph into certain things. The design engineer for Marconi Space Systems found dead of an overdose. Now, his wife claims she thinks it was a suicide, but something about his work had made him very uneasy, and she saw a total change in him overnight.
Really?
So there's one that probably was a suicide.